Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I'm your yarn host, Jennifer. We had so much fun this weekend. Alright, I know it's Friday, okay? I'm a week past when I went to the store that we're going to talk about in this episode. But I already had other videos uploaded, and I had other stuff that I wanted to show you first. And what's better than Yarn Porn Friday? And this is not going to be just Yarn Porn Friday. This is going to be Yarn Porn and Fabric Porn Friday because I got them both. Now, I tried to get Juju to come on the video with me. She did not. She didn't want to. She said it's been too recent since the last time she was on, so I have to wait a little bit longer. She wasn't real happy with the store anyway, and we'll discuss that. Now, the store is called 757, which is the area code in Norfolk. Creative Reuse. So 757 Creative Reuse. If you are in and around Norfolk, I highly suggest you make the trek to go to this recycling craft store because it was awesome. It was awesome, okay? Now, you guys know the story of when I went to go visit Scrap RVA, which was in Richmond. That was the same type of reuse store. So the premise behind these stores are if you have leftover craft or art products, you can donate it to these stores. They resell it. It is good for the community because it's helping people to be able to afford art supplies. So it's helping even people who don't necessarily have a lot of money be able to buy art supplies. It is also good for the community because it is keeping the leftovers and the scraps out of the dumpsters, out of the landfills. Basically, it's getting used instead of ending up in the garbage, which is a fantastic thing for the planet and for all of us. That's not why I love this store, okay? Yeah, the environment is fantastic. I want to do my part for the environment. I want to, I want to create a better earth for my children, all that good stuff. However, I also really like saving money. I love thrifting for craft items because I love seeing and experiencing yarns that have been discontinued, fabrics that are no longer in print, and I don't like spending a lot of money on craft supplies. I hate it, in fact. Every once in a while I will splurge and buy like the really good expensive stuff, but I like value. I like bargains. I like deals, like all of it. Okay, so this store was beautiful. It was a notch above Scrap RVA in Richmond just because of the organization of the store. There were down points, and we will discuss that, and that is where Juju comes in. Well, she's not going to actually come in, but that's where I will give you Juju's point of view on the store. But it was really a cool store, and it was a cool vibe, and I'm going to cut here, and I'm going to give you a quick little tour. This is probably like 30-second tour of the shop because there were a lot of other people in the store, and I was trying to be mindful of that, and I did not ask permission to film in there. I just filmed, which I'm usually really good at, but the woman that was working that day was not very friendly. She was not by any means like mean or grumpy. She just was quiet and antisocial, much like Juju is. And so I didn't want to like bother her or like burden her in any way. I just let her do her cross stitch in the corner, and then when I was ready to check out, I talked to her. So that was like that. Okay, well, I'm gonna cut here and we'll be right back. Like I said, it was a very short video. The front room, this store was small, but it was bigger than Scrap RVA. There was more room. There was a lot more aisle room, and everything was just organized, and it was so pretty. At least the front part of the store. And the front part of the store, when you first walk in, and I didn't show a lot of it. I just showed the yarn and the fabric because that's what I was looking at. The very front part next to the door was paper crafting supplies. and it was very neat and organized, and everything was in shelves, and it was just beautiful. And they had stamps and paper and just all the things. And then if you come out from that area, there are cash registers on this side, and behind that was like my glory spot. This side of the wall was just yarn in cubes like this, all organized, all color coded. All of it was caked up, and some of it had like their logo on it, their label. I'll show you what I mean. They labeled it. That's not, obviously they don't make their own yarn, but they caked it up and labeled it and then price tagged it. I didn't realize I paid $3 for that. Anyway, I got other good deals on other yarns that I'm not even worried about that. The back part, oh, and to the right side, if you're facing the back of the store, was fabric, very much in the same organization, stuffed in shelves like this, rolled up, wrapped, tied off, just in the shelves, which you probably saw in the video. The fabric was $2 a pound for fabric, which is an excellent deal because we're talking about poundage, not yardage. This entire bag was 5 pounds, and I will show you that in a moment because I'm very excited. Now, that's only $10 for that amount of yarn or fabric, which was excellent. The back of the store, however, was randoms. It very much felt like a garage back there, like very much felt like a garage. And it smelled funky. And this is where Juju comes in because that's where the beads and the jewelry, and they had art kits for kids back there, like used art kits. It very much was more thrift store back there. There was baskets and just randoms. And it smelled like cat piss. And all of the bead area smelled like cat piss. So Juju was not happy. She did find some beads, and she got one of those big plastic divided boxes that you beaders tend to use. And it was filled with beads and some really nice beads, but it stunk. It was very bad. And so some of it needs to be washed off, probably soaked in vinegar, depending on what the beads are made out of. And the plastic container's probably going to go in the garbage because she bought a brand new one for those beads. There were some beautiful beads in there, but they either were not taken care of or they were left in the donation area too long and cats peed on them. And I think that's probably what happened because the donation section of this store is in a fenced off, what looks like a backyard of the store, and everything is put into garbage bins, and it's sectioned off. So the garbage bins, there's like a yarn garbage bin and a fabric garbage bin, and I don't know what else because I didn't go back there because I wasn't donating. And I think that may have been what happened, is they may have gotten left outside and weren't brought in and filtered in and brought into the store in a timely manner, and they probably got peed on. It is in a very metropolitan area. It's a very city, like it's in the middle of Norfolk, and it's very, there's stores and shops and just everything everywhere. And so the store was weird. I had so much fun, and it was very much like our first trip to Scrap RVA in Richmond, where one of us had a fantastic time and one of us was like, I didn't enjoy that at all. And this time I was the one that had a fantastic time. And Juju is not interested in going back to that store ever, but I guarantee if I ever make it back down to Norfolk, which I hope that I can make it back to the beach before the end of summer, but our summer doesn't end, in my opinion, until November. So I can go to the beach at any time between now and November, and hopefully I will make another trip to 757 Creative Reuse. Now, let me show you what I bought because I'm super excited. I had so much fun. Now, they had the wall that looked like this. That was just the cubes. And it had all the color-coded yarn cakes. And there was full skeins in there as well. But like the ones that would be scrap balls or whatever was wrapped like this. And this does say that it is wool, which I really like that they did that. Like they labeled the yarn, and it actually smells really good. This doesn't smell musty or funky at all. It smells like old lady perfume. Like grandma perfume, okay? That's what it reminds me of. It's not real strong, but I don't know. So this was $3, but it is wool, and I can tell that it's wool, and it's beautiful, and it almost reminds me of the yarn that I showed yesterday from Furls, because it's got that real hard twist on it. I think it's pretty. It was $3 for this, but you can see how thin that yarn is. This is probably enough to make a pair of socks with another color for toes and heels and cuffs. So I think there's enough here to do a pair of socks if I mix it with another yarn. So $3. I didn't realize this was $3 when I bought it. I probably wouldn't have paid $3 if I saw the price tag on it. I'm going to show you these last. We're close to last because that was really exciting. But I better put it back on my chair because I don't want to forget about it. And then they had some crochet thread. Now, crochet thread is easy to find at any thrift store, but a lot of times it's just one single color. And like I said, I want to make doilies and or dream catchers. And my favorite dream catcher that I've ever made is made with variegated crochet thread. And so when I saw this purple, I was like, oh, that would be such a pretty dream catcher. So I got this. I have no idea how much I paid for this. Probably $1. It was, I looked at the receipt and I'm almost positive that was $1. But the receipt is on my phone, which I'm filming with, so. And then I got this. This again is wool. So you see what I mean by I can make a pair of socks. And it looks like it's the same yarn, just one is variegated, one is solid. So I got that. And that one didn't have a price tag on it, so I'm assuming it was $1 or $2. And then this one is 70% virgin wool, 30% rayon, and this little cake was $1. See, I love that they label the yarn and they cake it up into these cute little cakes. Right? Oh, cute, 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 cute wools. And they had off to the side, there was fancy yarns. And by that I mean expensive. And it was in baskets. And they had several packs of this wool. This is Jojo Land, maybe? Jojo Land Rhythm. And it was, these colors are just so pretty. And I was like, oh, that's so pretty. The price tag on this is $25. But it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 10 balls of yarn for $25. And it is wool. And I looked it up. It's 100% wool. I looked this yarn up. This yarn retails for $7 a ball. And I paid $25 for 10. So I paid $2.50 per ball. That's a deal all day long. Now, it's probably, because it's 100% wool, it's probably not soft. But I don't care. I don't care whatsoever. We have a tapper on the glass again. I have extra children in the house again today. My niece has decided she wants to be here. So it's my niece, the little man, and Juju. Alright, so this yarn is so pretty. And I don't know. Let me dig through. I think each one of these balls is unique. They can go together as in they're all twisted the same color, but I think no two balls are going to be the same. And I've had yarn like this before. As a matter of fact, Lion Brand made a yarn called Unique some time ago, and it was very much like this. And AC Moore had yarn that was like this, and I know Hobby Lobby has yarn like this, to where they take two colors of yarn and they twist them together. And when you twist them together, it's the same colorway. However, it's a variegated yarn, so when it twists together, it will be different shades twisted together in different points. So they go together, but they're not at all identical. And yes, this is a scratchy wool. It's not like really scratchy. It's like Red Heart Super Saver, like the old Red Heart Super Saver scratchy. So it is absolutely manageable to work with, but I just think this will be so pretty worked into something. And for $25, I could not pass up this deal. And they had like 4 or 5 packs of these. So whoever bought them decided they couldn't use them or didn't want them and donated them. But I will take that deal all day long. And they're gorgeous. Who thought to mix purple and orange and yellow? I would never have thought to mix those together. So I got that. I was very happy with that. And then I've never seen this yarn before, and I paid $5 for this. This is Red Heart Stardust. And I was totally thinking socks with this one too. I have not felt this yarn either because I wanted to wait to open them till I was with you guys. It is 2 full skeins and a partial skein. And this is sparkly and it's wool. So this is a 50-gram ball, 191 yards. The color is purple. It's a super fine #1. Machine wash, cold, gentle, cycle, dry flat. It is 70% superwash, 25% nylon, and 5% sparkle. Which you can't really see how sparkly that is, but it is. I mean, you kind of can see how sparkly it is. And this is Red Heart Stardust. I have never seen this yarn, never felt it. It feels like typical sock yarn to me. So, yeah, totally gonna be. It smells a little bit musty, but we can wash it. We know how to get musty smell off of yarn already because I did a video on that. And I will link that below. So we have enough to make socks out of that. And watch, guys. If we want to do this with socks, and we want to do that as the toes and cuffs, we totally can. If we want to put pink in there, we totally can because these yarns are all coordinating. Which is what I was thinking when I was purchasing this. But $5 for a pair of socks, I'm like, yeah. And actually, I probably could get 2 pairs of socks out of that easily. And so, got that. And then, again, they did the label. This one was $2. I'm assuming this is acrylic. It feels like acrylic. It looks like acrylic. It looks very much like baby yarn that I've had in the past. And so, I got this because you guys know, baby stuff. And it's got that little, it's, you know, it's that typical baby yarn that I always find in the thrift stores that has that not sparkle, but there's a line of like shiny yarn with it. So I thought that was pretty. That'd be good for baby stuff. And then $1 for needles, so I got those. And they had a ton of knitting needles. They had circular needles in the package still, very reasonably priced, but I did not need any more needles, and I don't need the straight needles at all because I don't really use them. And then these were not with the yarn. These were in the back room with the randoms. Okay. They're bags of minis. They were in a bucket on the floor as if they weren't as good as the other yarn. And I was like, these should be in with the good yarn, and I didn't understand why they weren't. $5. $3. This one was $6, but these are bigger minis. So, I gladly paid $6 for this yarn because it is gorgeous, and it is 100% bamboo. It is made in China. It is klutz, 100% viscose from bamboo. It is this color. It is gorgeous, and it is so smooth and just, and there is 2 hanks and a little cake. And if I grab my, hang on one second, I have a scale. I can tell you how much yarn this is. $173 grams. For for $6 of bamboo. Yeah, good deal, and it's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. I know back here it just looks like teal, but you can see that it's like teal with a lighter blue running through it. It is so pretty. So pretty. And mini skeins are expensive. They are so expensive. And then we'll go to the $3 bag. And these, some of these have the same yarn in them between the $5 and $3 bag. There is blue, navy blue. These are all wool, and you can feel that they're wool. And this is from Shellridge Farm. Shellridge Farms. It is 100% wool. This is good for felting. This is good for knitting. It's good for crochet. It's good for weaving. And then this is same thing, spring green from Shellridge Farms. This one has a different label on it. This one is Shetland knitting yarn by A.T. McAuslin. This is from Scotland. Approximately 1 ounce, 100% new wool, made in Scotland. The color is Dune. Wool from Scotland. $3. I guarantee if you are in Scotland and you're buying this, you're going to pay more than $3. Although I've never been to Scotland, I don't know what their prices are like, but I'm assuming, because I would pay more than $3 for that. Just this one. And they feel like wool. They feel like wool. As a matter of fact, we have local farms close to us that have stuff like this, and it is not cheap at all. And to pay $5 for this bag is a bargain. I will snatch up every day. And they had more left that I left behind because I really didn't need that many minis. But, and again, this is 100% wool from Shellridge Farm. This is the color Bluebell. And some of the ones in here are also cotton from the same farm. This is wool cotton. It's the color Lavender. Wool cotton in the color Mulberry. Stay. Wool in the color Goldenrod. Wool cotton in the color Tangerine. $5 for all these. I couldn't believe it. I have minis up there that I paid $3 a piece for. And they're no bigger than this. Salmon 100% wool. Denim wool cotton. This one's gorgeous. This is peach, but it really should be coral. This is 100% wool. And then 100% wool in the color Thistle Flower. Although thistles are darker than that, but whatever. $5 for all these minis. So I need to come up with a unique project that takes into consideration all of these minis. I could not believe the amazing stuff that they had in the store. I was just gobsmacked. 5, 6, 7, 8. $8 for all of these. Yeah. And there's so much you can do with just plain wool like that. And I also have some of these down here are just plain wool that I can mix in with it. I could also add speckles to that if I want because it dyes up really easily. I had so much fun. Okay, now we're going to move on to the fabric because I know this video is being long. So I'm going to move the yarn back to my chair. And then I am going to, I'm probably going to bag this stuff up together so that I don't lose it. So that I can properly organize it. Because I have special containers for my wools that I keep them in to keep them safe and free of bugs and all that good stuff. I keep that up and away. Now, the fabric, I had a hard time with the fabric because they had so much fabric. And it was just all neatly organized, and it was sorted again by type of fabric, which I love the organization in the store. I love it. If Scrap RVA in Richmond did this kind of organization, I would have spent just days in there. And when I came out of the store, Mr. Cinnamon and two of the kids were still in the car. Just me and Juju went in. And I had these big bags, you know, and Juju had a bag of her stuff. And he looked at me and like he could see like my face was like, and I got to the car, he's all, you ain't shopping, huh? I will tell you, I spent $95 in this store. This pack was $25 alone. So I mean, you can see I spent money, and Juju's beads were like, I think $25-$30 of it was her stuff. But that is such an amazing deal for how much I got. I could not have got any of this at a regular craft store for anywhere near $95. It just wouldn't have happened. And especially the amount of yardage that I got. Now let's move on to the fabric, okay? Now the reason I got this fabric is because, and like I said, they had it sectioned off like, okay, so over here in this cube would be the stretchy fabrics, like the t-shirt material. This would also make a good nightgown or a dress like this because it's very much the same material as what I'm wearing in this dress. So they had like a whole shelf of just stretchy fabric. And then they had the quilted fabric, you know, the stuff that has the batting already quilted to it. And you just basically cut it and you put a border on it and it's a quilt. They had like a section of just that. And then they had like so much cotton pieces. I wanted stretchy fabric because I showed in another video, and I don't have my headband here. I'm making headbands that are very similar to this. I did not make this. This is store-bought. I'm making headbands similar to this. I made 2 so far, and I'm going to make a lot more because my niece wants some, and Juju wants some more, and I definitely want some more. So I got stretchy fabric, and I picked out the ones that were pretty. I don't need this much, but now that I'm seeing how much is here, I might make myself a nightshirt out of this. Because I do know how to make clothes. And a ton of headbands. I'm going to make headbands for me, her, the other her. And this, it's so easy. It's so easy. You take and you sew it into like a tube. So you flip the fabric inside out. So the right sides are facing each other. And you just sew it closed. And you flip it right side out so that you can see the design on the outside. And then you take the 2 ends and you put them together and you fold them over each other like this. And you sew this. When you get it pinched closed like that, you lay it flat and you sew it in an arc and you cut it all around the arc. You flip it around and you have a headband that has a knot in the front, but also that knot can go in the back because there's not a seam in the back. So easy. And so we're going to make some purple ones. But I also got black stretchy fabric. And this is shiny. I think this will make really nice headbands too. Although these might be slippery, but this is slippery too, and it kind of still stays there. So we're gonna make some black headbands as well. And then the rest of this is just for like project bags, honestly. I made project bags last week, and I will show them to you next week because I don't have time this week to show you everything I want to show you. But I made a Halloween bag that I'm so in love with. So I wanted to make Christmas bags for myself. And I have decided that I'm good enough at the project bags. If I have some left over, like some of these that are going to make more than one project bag. If I have some left over and I have time to make extras, I will of course put them in the shop for cheap because mine are not like high quality bags. They're very simple bags. I will put some in the Etsy shop if you guys are interested. If you're not, that's cool too. But I know quite a few people have asked. And so I will do that. So they had, oh, nope, I think that's liner fabric. Yeah, it's liner fabric. So they had a bucket of just Christmas fabric, okay? And like I said, this is $2 a pound. I don't know if I can get that off without cutting it. Scissors. Where are my scissors? My scissors are constantly disappearing. Constantly. And all their fabrics were bound in these rolls so that they were nice and neat and tucked away. This fabric reminds me so much of my grandma. No, it doesn't. My mom. This reminds me of my mom. She loved the color hunter green. She loved Christmas. I swear she probably had something with this fabric at one time, but I think it's so cute and I had to have it. The little Christmas mouse in there. I have a Christmas mouse ornament. I got it at the thrift store some time ago. Actually, I have a couple mice. And my mom always would say, because we lived in a poor neighborhood, a very poor neighborhood, and the house was, it was barely held together with like straw and glue. Like the house was not, it was not secure at all. And I'm surprised it didn't fall down on top of us. As a matter of fact, after my mom moved out, when my mom and dad got divorced, my mom moved out. And they lived there the entire time like I was alive. So 25 years they lived in this house. My mom moved out, and within the year, the inside ceiling collapsed. And then they tore the house down on the 1-year anniversary. No, they tore the house down right after my mom died. It was like 2 weeks after she died. They tore the house down. It was crazy. But the reason I say all that is because we had a mouse. We had a mouse problem. And my mom did not live with rodents. She did not live with any creatures in the house. She kept the house like immaculate. It was spotless. And if there was a chance that a mouse got in, she took care of it. There was no mice in our house. But there was always like, there was mice trying to sneak in because where we lived and the environment, and the house had holes in it, and she was constantly patching and like, you know, all that stuff. And there was one year that there was a mouse that came in and just sat in the living room and was just looking at us like, oh, my mom said it was the Christmas mouse. And so ever since then, Christmas mice have been special. I know this is a terrible story to tell, but it's how I grew up. We didn't have much of a choice, so there's little Christmas mice on there, and I just think that it's the cutest. It's the cutest. It reminds me of my mom so much. And because I got the green, and I love Santa Claus. If any of you have been around for any amount of time, you know I have a Santa thing. I love Santa. And I figured these two fabrics kind of go together. I could put one on the inside, one on the outside, because all my bags are pretty much reversible. But I just love this fabric. And they totally go together. And then while we're at it, this one reminded me of my mom too. My mom also collected angels. Whoop. My mom collected angels, and these are not angels, but they look like the little, she had little cherub angels that she collected, and they also came out with these snow babies. The same company that made the little baby cherub angels came out with snow babies. And so that reminds me of my mom. Is that not cute? I just love, I also have an obsession with Christmas trees. So, and because I bought that, I had to buy this to coordinate with it. And this is just red stars, but they look like snowflakes. So those are going to go together. And I cannot wait to have myself some Christmas bags to make Christmas projects. And then I just bought plain purple for liner for some of the other fabric I have. And then I bought blue for liners. And these are like yardage. Like these are all minimum of a yard. So the price was amazing. I had so much fun. Oh, and I forgot. They also had a container with fat quarters in it. This was $5, which is pretty much retail. But there is a lot of yarn in there. And these are pretty big fat quarters. It says there's a total of 2 yards worth of fabric in this, which for $5 is an amazing deal. And look at how pretty this is. This is very Eastery. And all of them are either this or this. So beautiful, 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 beautiful. That again will be project bags. Because I wanted it, and because it's pretty, and because it makes me happy. And I had so much fun. And it was worth every penny that I spent in this store. I had so much fun. So to the subscriber, I don't remember who it was because there was like 800 comments I was sifting through. To the person that recommended this store to me, even after I already planned on going, thank you. Amazing store, and you are so lucky that you could go there. If I lived near that store, I would be so broke, and this room would be just jam-packed with stuff because I could not, I kid you not. And actually one of the balls of yarn I had to leave behind. It was similar to this, but it was blue. Okay. And this I got from Scrap RVA. I had packs and bags in my hand, right? And I found this little blue one that kind of reminded me of this. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. It would be good for booties. And I kept tucking it in. And it fell. And it rolled under the table. Well, I'm still having back problems. So I had to try to bend over with all this other stuff in my arms and pick it up. And I got it, right? And I tucked it back in. And I was looking at crochet hooks, knitting needles, and it fell out again. And this time I did not see where it went. I looked and looked. I could not find it. And so I was like, that hank of yarn, that cake of yarn is going to have to stay here because it was not meant to be, because I cannot get on this floor and look for a little tiny ball of yarn. So they also had a bucket full of all different sizes of balls of yarn and little plastic bags next to it that you could fill the plastic bags with as many balls that would fit in that bag for $3. And so I was like, I opted to get this for $3 instead because, you know, who doesn't like good mini skeins? But I had so much fun. I wish Juju had more fun there, but I can understand why she didn't. Like, all of her crafts were stinky and, like, gross. And, like, the whole back half was kind of dirty back there. And I totally could see, because it just felt like you were rummaging through somebody's garage. And I have no problem with garage sales, but, like, if it's a store, I don't want it to feel like a garage. But the front of the store felt like a craft store. It felt like a LYS, like a local yarn shop with fabric. Like, it was just amazing, and I had so much fun. And so if you're anywhere near Norfolk, I'm telling you, go to this store, 757 Creative. I will link their information below. They have a Facebook. I think they have an Instagram. They have a website. Go to the store if you're anywhere near it. It is worth the trip. It is worth the drive. And I am so happy with everything I got. I cannot believe they had mini hanks there. The quality of yarn. And they had, I mean, in the basket where the good yarn was, the expensive yarn, the packs, they had so much, like, quality, local yarn shop quality sock yarn in kits, in bags, for like anywhere from $5 to $25. I think there was a kit that was $44, and I was just like, I don't need mohair, no thank you. But I was just in my absolute glory. I could not believe this store. And I'm hoping sometime in the future I'm going to make it up to Baltimore, because Baltimore has a creative reuse, and Baltimore is about the same distance as Norfolk from me. And there's the National Aquarium is in Baltimore, and I will look for any excuse to go to the National Aquarium. It is a beautiful aquarium. And so maybe sometime in the future, not the near future, because I got a lot going on, we will make it up to Baltimore and make it to the Creative Reuse store up there. If any of you are from the Baltimore area and you've been to Be More, let me know what your opinion of that store is before I make plans to go. And I hope you enjoyed this content. I really, really am so fascinated. I never knew, and I forgot to mention in the scrap video, the reason I even know about these creative reuse stores is Kim from Affordably Crafting. I'm tripping over my words today. Affordably Crafting. Her name is Kim. She's a member in the Facebook group. She's a member in a lot of groups on Facebook, and she has her own channel here, Affordably Crafty. She's the one who told me about Scrap RVA in Richmond. She had knowledge of these reuse stores, and she made videos on how to find local or scrap RV reuse stores in your area. She's got a lot of amazing content. She is on the lookout constantly for deals, bargains, steals, and she's the reason I have known about a lot of the recent sales, because she just keeps everybody updated. Like, this is what's going on here, this is what's going on here, and she is absolutely priceless for saving money. And I highly suggest, if you are on a budget, to go check her out, because she will keep you in on all of the good deals. And the fact that she told me about these cool creative reuse stores, and now that I'm so hooked on them, I'm internally grateful for her and for all the hard work she does to keep us informed, especially me. And yeah, thank you, Kim. I am having a blast checking out these stores. And I hope to see you guys next week. I will see you guys next week, as long as you tune in. I have content. I have more videos I need to film. And I will see you guys next week. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me what your favorite thing is. Like, what would you have purchased if you went to the store? Is it the fabric? Do you guys want some bags in the shop? Let me know about that. It will help me to decide when I want to get those done. I know it's only July, but Christmas in July, come on, guys. Although, I will say this. I broke my sewing machine. I broke it. The casing that the bobbin goes in inside the machine is broke. And luckily, I'll have to thank my aunt for this, although I don't really talk to her at all, and I haven't talked to her in years, but she's the one that taught me how to sew. She also taught me how to take the sewing machine apart. She taught me how not to be afraid of it, which is like priceless. And she told me how to take the parts off to clean it, which is also priceless. And so I know how to maintain my machine. I also knew how to take it apart, figured out why it was not working. And I took the bobbin case out and I was like, okay, well, let's go order a new one. And so I popped on a website and I ordered myself some new parts, and they have not shipped yet. It's been like 5 days. So I can't do a whole lot of sewing until that gets fixed, which I'm so glad it's an easy repair. I hope that's all it is. If not, I'm just going to buy myself a new machine. I'm not going to take it in for service because the machine, I think, is like 7 or 8 years old. And I just don't feel like taking it in to be serviced. I'll donate it to a creative reuse store and tell them it's broken, and then someone else can get it for a deal. Right? And then they can service it. But hopefully the bobbin case is all that needs to be repaired. I know that part is broke because I watched the piece fly off of it when I opened it up. So hopefully I'm smart enough to fix it, and then I can sew, and then I can make more bags, because I'm super excited to show you guys the cool bags that I've been making. This one even has a handle. It's so cute. I will show you that next week, though. That's just a little teaser to make you want to come back next week. All right, guys, I'm going to be quiet now because this video is probably, I don't even know how long this video is, probably an hour. I thank you for joining me. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.